sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Los Angeles Chargers, and it comes your way next.
It was only opened in 2020, but quickly became one of the league's most recognizable venues. You're looking at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Welcome to another entertaining matchup, folks. Kate Scott, Brock Ewart on the call in this one. And Brock, got a couple of running backs down on the field who can really take over their offenses when they get in the groove.
And I think that's going to be the ultimate goal of both of these offenses, right? I mean, there's just no confusion about it. They want to get their bell cow in that groove and get them going. Find that rhythm where they're ripping off chunk yardage, run after run, and then just keep on feeding that beast. In a game like this, whichever offense can get that rhythm and run game going first is likely going to be your winner.
To kick off, here's Ryan Stonehouse. And off we go from SoFi. Darius Davis to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So now out comes the Charger offense for their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the fifth-year pro who can really fill up a stat sheet, Justin Herbert.
Hey, let's be honest. The only reason the Chargers drafted in the top 5 was because Justin Herbert wasn't available all season long. An injury cut short his year, but it really didn't cut short his production while he was playing. Still over 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Kid, I can tell you, this is one guy that I love. I mean, I love to watch throw a football.
So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Herbert throwing right away. This is reeled in by Joshua Palmer. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And the Chargers will have a first.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. They hit a curl route of that length. It takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
First run of the game for J.K. Dobbins. Runs inside the 35. And he has this all the way down to the 29-yard line. They pick up 20 yards there. And it brings up an L.A. first down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. And because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Motion man sent left. Play action now for Herbert. Completed to Hurst. And he's going to go out of bounds just short of that red zone.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight ends short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Going for the first with Dobbins. And he gets this forward to the 19. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. So I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there, making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
Hurst there to grab it. And this play reaches the 12-yard line before the stop is made.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believe it, your guy can get there.
2nd and 3 now. A give right side to Dobbins. And he's brought down for a loss.
Hey, range? Range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
So now here's 3rd and 5. To throw, Herbert. Setting up the screen. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Not terribly complicated on this one, just not the 3rd down screen you wanted to run. Little chance they were getting the first, and apparently, little chance they were going to even gain a positive yard at all.
So on 4th down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. This is a 35-yard look from the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
I never saw a play script that ended with a field goal. It was always a touchdown that you wanted. That's 3 points, and it's enough to give them the lead.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Julius Chestnut to return. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. So the Titans ready for their opening drive of the game. And they'll be led out by a player who had a string of wins to end his 2023 season. Now in his 6th year, Mason Rudolph.
Kid, I think a lot of us around the NFL wondered, was there more in the tank? Was Mason Rudolph's career on fumes, and then he just ignited those Steelers down the stretch, winning 3 straight games, making the playoffs, yeah, and keeping that streak of 500 seasons alive up in Pittsburgh. You know what he really showed? He really showed that when given protection, the guy can still spin a football.
They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. 16 yards on the play. And the Titans will have a 1st down.
Hey, even though that was an excellent run, I got to talk about the receivers here, Kate, because 9 times out of 10, you see a run like that in this league, 10+, you know those guys on the outside are doing their job, shining as blockers, keeping those defenders away from the back.
Short pass caught by his tight end. And that's good for a gain of 5. That's Denzel Perryman in on the stop.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Here's 2nd and 5. Throw left side, complete. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. He gets 6 on that play. And that'll be a Tennessee 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Play action on 1st down. And this throw's knocked away, incomplete.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target and make a play on it.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Handoff running left, Pollard. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in the locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
Got to him right as he threw it, and it falls to the ground. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. The Chargers getting their offense set for their second drive. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They're out and set, 1st and 10. A play fake, now Herbert to throw. Catch is made down the right sideline. It's a pickup of 34 yards. And the Chargers will have a first.
He just made a difficult throw to the outside look elementary, Kate, and that's not easy. The placement, excellent. And it helped set his target up to put some more yards on that stat sheet.
So the big play gets him just beyond midfield. It's 1st down. Handoff goes to Dobbins, running left. Looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. Tackled there by Jerome Baker.
That is just a good, solid run right there. I know, that's pretty basic commentary, but sometimes football can be basic. It keeps you on schedule, that kind of yards per carry, and you move the sticks.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Herbert now off the play fake. He's throwing deep to the left side. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete. Couldn't make the connection, was looking for Lat McConkey. And now it's 3rd down.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Complete beyond the marker. And he's taken down at the 30. Pickup of 12 on that play. And it brings up an LA 1st down. So that connection for a first will bring us to the end of the first. Just 3-0 is our score. We're back to SoFi right after this. We're back and all set for the second quarter. Charger football. They're looking at yet another 1st and 10 on this drive. Cut near the goal line. And that's a Los Angeles touchdown. We've seen him do a lot more to reach the end zone on a catch, Brock. That one was kind of fed right to him.
Yeah, they say the running backs have a nose for the end zone. You know who else does? Every skill guy out there,
Yeah.
because they want to put a touchdown on the board.
Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers make it a 10-point ball game. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. Here's Chestnut on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So Tennessee headed out for its second drive of the game. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here goes Pollard. He's able to drive that pile about a yard. That's Denzel Perryman in on the stop. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Back now, pressure on its way. Falls to the ground out left, incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
3rd and long for him here. He has the 1st over the middle. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Slot man motioned over. 1st and 10, it's Pollard. And he breaks even, but that's it. Brought down at that line of scrimmage. Making the tackle there, Joey Bosa. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
These linebackers of today, they are so quick. They're so twitchy. You don't get a body on them in a hurry, they're going to stick you right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Here's a throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
Kate, I've seen a one-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it. Except for this defense, it just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on 3rd and very long. Throwing from the gun. This is Ridley working the right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That one goes for 25 yards. And the Titans will have a 1st down.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
First and 10 from the 41. Trying the inside handoff to Pollard. And they take him down right along the 30. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
Throwing now on 1st down. Pass cut by Ridley. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. On the draw, the give to Pollard. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
I'm not kidding you, Kate. A run of that length at the NFL level, honestly, is the equivalent of a run of 15-plus at the high school level. It's hard in the run game to make yards, and they just got a very successful one.
They're now set for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. And through the back of the end zone and out of bounds.
Just something off in the rhythm of the passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
connect on first. It's second down. From the gun, they go with Pollard. And he has this one down to the 8-yard line.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune third down situation.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. This throw is caught. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the first down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
Goal to go. It's a pass play. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. The Titans start to fight back with their first points of this game. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Nick Folk now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Titans cut it to a field goal game. Raleigh set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Return starts at the 3. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And the push forward doesn't get beyond the line. Roger McCreary brings him down that time. Nothing for him on that play as we've hit the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Johnston brings it in. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. They get an even 10 on that play. And the Chargers will have a 1st.
Okay, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on a drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
This ball's caught by Palmer. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the 1st down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
1st and 10, here's Herbert. That's completed right side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up
And come to the line for 1st and 10. Herbert to throw once more. And he must have overlooked the linebacker there because he was right in the way to swat it away and bring out the incompletion.
You know, it's tough to succeed at linebacker in most defenses if you can't hold your own in coverage. They rely on you to break up throws just like that and take some of the stress off the secondary.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. It's Herbert once more. That one doesn't find its man. Incomplete.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive downfield. I love the call. I love pushing the ball down the field. But the windows in the throwing lanes aren't there long, and it only takes a little bit for a throw to be off.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Now Herbert again. Completed here to Johnston. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. Timeout taken by the offense. Their 2nd. Here's 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete.
Well, the QB right there, he put it pretty close to the sidelines to begin with. And the defender, well, that was a nice job. Just simply put a hand out there and let me just encourage the ball to fall incomplete.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. This one's caught. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the 1st. Now a timeout taken by the offense, and we're going to see if they try for 2 plays here or just try the field goal right now. Third and just 2 to go. Herbert from the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers will add to their lead at the end of the half. Great opportunity to find a touchdown there, Brock, and they come through with 6.
Receivers want the ball everywhere on the football field. But you start smelling the end zone, they really want their chance. And they will tell you as a quarterback, just give me an opportunity and I'll make a play. He sure did.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Chargers make it a 10-point ball game. Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. So new kickoff rules, this is going to come out to the 30, not the 25 on the touchback. One last play before the break. A final throw before the break. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
And he's not going to get something done. They take him down. So that's how our first half's going to end. A momentum-building play for their defense.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Reports. We're accustomed to seeing strong quarterback play. We got that in the first half from Justin Herbert. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. On the return, here comes Tajay Spears. The Titans and Tony Pollard headed back out there offensively. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. First and 10 now from the 30. Here's Pollard. And he'll come up with a gain of 3 on the run up the middle.
That's the kind of run play that feels like tug-of-war at field day. And you're just not moving the other side. Just a short run. Neither side feels particularly good about it. And we'll move to the next.
Second down now, 7 to go. From the 32. Has the connection to Ridley. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stops. Give him 8 yards on the play. And that'll be a Tennessee first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
Going with Pollard on the ground. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Alohi Gilman up from the secondary for that tackle. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, he'll throw. And it looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. Third down coming up.
Those passes get more and more difficult as you try to get aggressive down the field. Those windows and throwing lanes, Kate, they're not open very long. It only takes a little bit for a throw to be thrown off.
Pass play now. The screen pass falls incomplete.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on third down? We chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Here comes the Titans punting unit. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. He broke 50 on his first punt and looks to have done the same here. The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. And as we see some of the highlights from their showing, his work a big part of why they're in front right now. Having a nice, solid game as their offensive leader. I think we can say he's had a firm grip on the wheel and has really driven them to this advantage. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Throwing now from the gun. Hits him on the out route. And he'll take it up to the 30 before being brought down.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. Receiver in motion, headed right. On the play fake, it's Herbert. Big gain downfield. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play. That one hits for 30. And it brings up an LA first down.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw when you throw it that deep outside the numbers that requires a serious fastball, serious arm strength, and he just showed it off.
Big play gets him across midfield, sets him up 1st and 10 from the 40. Herbert now off the play fake. Throwing this back in the end zone. That's much too high and out of the end zone, incomplete.
Well, QB put it pretty close to the sideline to begin with, and the defender, look at him, just put his little hand right out there. It just encouraged it to fall out of bounds.
Couldn't connect on first, it's 2nd down. A give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
They had the first down by a comfortable margin right there. Remember that play call. Put that one away. Could be a money play for them the next time they're in a similar spot.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. He gets forward, and that's about 4 yards. Jarvis Brownlee there to make that play.
Textbook hitch route. Just hit him in the short field and deliver it once that defense turns their attention elsewhere. Okay, this is a low ceiling play, but a reliable source of yardage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 23. Finding Hurst. And he takes this in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. The Chargers push their lead further to start the half. You love seeing a tight end get the chance to show off those wheels, right? And in the best of cases, he can rumble the whole way home.
Kate, think of getting somebody with that type of mass rolling at full speed. Who's really going to want to stand in the way, wants to stop him anyhow? The answer, nobody.
Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers take a 3-possession lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. On the return, here comes Spears. He stopped on the return at the 27. So the Tennessee offense headed out for another series. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. We've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he's going to throw. Tries to lob that one up, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers take possession down inside the 30 after the interception. Well, great team defense here. Somebody hit him in there, caused that pass to float on him a bit, and it gave the linebacker time to race in and make the interception.
And you know what team stands for, right? T-E-A-M. Together, everyone achieves more. It took all of them together. Took that rush to impact the quarterback. It took that linebacker to deliver on the other end, a critical takeaway.
Possession switching back to the LA offense as they head out. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. And that one's behind him. That's incomplete.
Hey, Mr. Quarterback down there, that's a throw that's got to go somewhere else. Double coverage was waiting for it. QB super fortunate that ball wasn't picked. And incompletion, still pretty good for the defense, too.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. Still has room inside the 15. And he's finally brought down at the 9. They get 19, and now they're going to have 1st and goal.
You know, Kate, if you notice those guys that love to feed themselves on the field, right? They love to just get more and more. They're hungry for even more. I'll tell you what, that tackle, it prevented something that's going to be a lot bigger, but that back remains hungry.
And the Titans rush brings him down. And the pressure drives them backwards.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
Gotta forget about 1st down in a hurry. They need a chunk of yards here on 2nd and goal. Trying again following the sack. Short pass brought in. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
They've held him out twice. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Herbert now. Escapes the pocket. And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
This is one of those occasions that it looks so promising when you take off as a quarterback, and then you're reminded just how fast these defenses are in the NFL. Couldn't quite move the chains, but it wasn't for a lack of trying.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Here we go with Dobbins. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And he will not get there. They stop him on 4th and goal. What a stand to force that turnover on downs.
I love aggressive defenses, and a blitz on 4th down's a gutsy call, but it can work against the pass, or in that case, against the run. Good luck running for the sticks when you've got a whole defense crashing the line of scrimmage off the snap.
We'll get another look at this Tennessee offense. And they have tried on occasion to ramp up their passing game, but just nothing has worked with consistency yet, Brock. Might be why they trail near the end of this 3rd quarter.
You sure love teams who excel on the ground, right? You love a physical game of football who can hammer at the opponent, but in today's NFL, it's just impossible to win if you don't have a passing component that's balancing it out.
They run the counter to Pollard. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
This close to your own goal line, they really don't want to risk a sack. That means, well, one option, run it and buy whatever breathing room you can.
8 yards to go. Well, let's see how they approach this 2nd down. They'll run here with Tajay Spears. And he's going to step out a little short of the 10. It's a 4-yard pickup, and they need the same now here on 3rd down.
You You know, okay, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game. Right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage. B, it sets up your play action. And C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
They're going play action. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Looking for the back that time. And 4th and 4 coming up.
You know, that's one of those cases, and we see it at every level. He simply took off before he got full possession, and that's simply a drop.
Punt team on the field. Ryan Stonehouse will kick it away. He's been hitting it well so far. This is another big one. And he makes the fair catch inside the 45. The Chargers headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. So the Chargers start off with good field position as they get ready for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And this is going to be a turnover. The defense forces the big play. Well, that didn't take long, Brock. One play, and they're back out there.
Well, that's how a defense can make you awfully happy as an offensive player, especially when you screw it up and you fumble. The defense picks up that offense and puts them right back on the field.
Out come the Titans for another offensive possession. And what's really been simply stunning, Brock, is how far we've made it into the game, and their passing game, it is still grounded.
Yeah, so as they're sitting here losing right now, what I hear you saying, Kate, is it's time for this offense to take flight?
Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing now, following the turnover. Finds him over the middle. And he gets this forward to the 19. Three quarters in the books from this one. It's not quite over yet, but it'd take a pretty miraculous comeback. We've got a 3-score game as we get set to start the 4th quarter. Second and 3 now. From the 19. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Hit arrived as the ball did to break things up. And now it's 3rd and short.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
On 3rd down, Pollard. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
You spring a big gain like that, Kate, on the interior. 9 times out of 10, that O-line decisively won their matchup with the big fellas up front. They got those pads down. They created leverage, and they opened up that running lane.
Pollard on 1st and goal. In the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No gain that time, and now it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, it did the job on 1st down. More to come.
He's got it! And he's able to get it to the 2 before the stop.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Here is Pollard. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
If only this defense could look like that on every play, Kate. They were angry, motivated, focused, and they took that anger out on him and this offense, forcing a fourth down.
Three plays haven't gotten it done. Now a fourth to try to reach that end zone. He'll throw it. They can't connect as the coverage comes through with a fourth down stand.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he's taken down here at the 16-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And the Chargers will have a first.
Pretty obvious, this defense, man, they need more people around the line of scrimmage. But the minute you do that, Kate, start opening up those throwing lanes. This is how balance takes apart a defense.
First down, and they go right back to it. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
On 2nd down, here's Dobbins. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
3rd and a lone yard coming up. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
Just excellent effort on that catch and a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. And they'll let the clock run all the way down and expire.
Delay of game, offense.
Everyone was set and at the line. The quarterback just didn't snap it before the play clock hit 0.
Still 1st down.
So they should be a little prompter in snapping this, you'd hope, Brock, after that delay of game. Running it after the penalty. And he made a bid for midfield there, but stopped on his own side at the 49. Gets them 6 yards and back on the positive side of things. It's now 2nd and 9.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Here's Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he has them a 1st down, which they will tackle on the other side of this 2-minute warning. Markers reset, ball at the 37. Going to the ground again on 1st. And his charge towards the line, it's right around 3 yards.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Second down now, 7 to go. Running it again with Dobbins. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4. To the air this time, Herbert. That heater's gonna fall to the turf.
I'll tell you this, Kate, that's where you gotta be on the same page with one another and get both ends of the play right to execute, both the protection and ultimately completing that ball. They certainly want that play call back.
So on 4th down, on comes Cameron Dicker and the Chargers for a field goal try. He was money on his first field goal, Brock. His second coming a little inside of 50 yards.
Get another shot across the bow of a ship that's already sinking here, Kate. He could have made that field goal. Heck, he could have turned around and kicked it directly at his coach because it feels like they've got this one in hand.
Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. On the return, here comes Spears. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Titans ready to take over on offense. And they can really do what they want with these last couple of snaps afforded to them because the outcome already decided. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
Second and 10 now. That is incomplete. Down to 13 seconds left.
Any DB prefers a highlight reel interception to just forcing an incomplete pass. As soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible on the play, he gets his hands on it and made sure it wasn't completed.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Back to throw. Completed to his running back. And he'll get taken down after advancing this to the 37. That timeout's taken now as we have 1, possibly 2 snaps remaining in this ball game. Their punter making his way out now. And he's been getting all of it every time out. Averaging over 50 yards a kick, and this is another one well hit. And this one did hit at the 8, but took a big bounce and finished its journey in the end zone for a touchback. So the Chargers come away with the win in this one. And it's not quite a full game shutout, Brock, but keeping that other side off the board in the second half, that sure went a long way towards securing them this win. Made things a lot easier for everyone else to operate in the closing stages of the game. So for Brock Eward, our incredible crew, everybody here at EA Sports, I'm Kate Scott signing off. We'll see you next time. It's a win for the Chargers as we say goodbye from Los Angeles.